Hey guys, welcome back to the 6.84 Pub Stomper series, and in this week I'll be telling you guys some of the best offlaners you could pick in your own games. One of the big trends in 6.84 is that fight tends to happen much earlier, so I think the most successful offlaners are the ones that can make a strong early and mid-game impact. Okay, let's start with the best offlaner in this patch, Undying. He's got a solid 58% win rate, which makes him the 4th highest win rate of all heroes in Dota. Undying is a classic lane dominator, and it doesn't really matter if he's up against 2 or even 3 heroes. If he lands a 2-man decay, he gets so much health and damage that he can start bullying supports. With Tombstone, he could easily dive and kill low health heroes, and it's not uncommon for him to get double kills in the offlane. Even though Undying spells tend to become somewhat ineffective as the game goes on, he remains useful throughout the game by getting really strong team items like Guardian Greaves, Pipe, or Crimson Guard. With that said, take advantage of your early to mid-game dominance by leading your team into teamfights and then tower pushes. Another really popular offlaner in this patch is the roaming offlaner, which focus on getting runes and putting pressure on the mid or the enemy supports. Spearbreaker is one of the best roamers because he could get around the map really quickly with charge, and when he gets there he dishes out a ton of damage with Greater Bash and an Orb of Venom. Spearbreaker also has one of the highest starting effective HP, which makes tower dives much easier to survive. During the mid game, he preys on heroes that farm alone, or he could be a really big annoyance to supports in teamfights. He really needs a BKB though in most games to stay relevant, because as the game goes later and later, he gets kited and chain stun, and he's gonna start having trouble. Similar to Undying, you want to use your early mid-game dominance to establish a strong gold and item lead, so when you get those kills, transition into a push. The third type of offlaners aren't really much of a threat early on, but once they get level 6, they could start getting solo kills around the map. Clockwork and Centaur comes to mind, but Physics Math Man would be really mad at me if I don't talk about Earth Spirit. Earth Spirit could get some random CS with his stones, and maybe even chase down low health support, but his real time to shine is once he gets magnetized. You translate these successful ganks into tower push and more team oriented items. Unlike Undying and Spirit Breaker, you transition into the late game much better. All good Earth Spirits keep track of the number of stones they have, and understands the best ways to disrupt teamfights with his grip and smash. He's really not the easiest hero to learn, but once you learn it, this hero gives you MMR like it's money on trees or something. Lastly, the traditional offlaners are the one that passively sap experience to level 6 and is mostly used for their ultimates. Tidehunter is a perfect example for a teamfight initiator, and even though his win rate isn't exactly the best right now, he still remains as one of the best offlaners for his teamfight potential. Same as all the heroes we mentioned so far, his strength lies within the mid game, where a good Blink Ravage will lead to a team wipe, a couple of towers, and maybe even a Roshan. Because of Kraken Shell, he's really not afraid of being chain disabled to death, but be careful of BKB carries, especially when it gets to later portion of the game, since they can pretty much ignore you and work on your team. In the late game, a Refresher Double Ravage is one of the strongest teamfight presence in the game, so keep on farming if your Ravage is down during the mid game. Even though he's not the flashiest of heroes, a well-played Tidehunter gets a W just like the best of them. Alright guys, that's gonna do it for this week's Pub Stompers. Let me know some of the other offlaners you guys been owning with in this patch. In the next week, we'll be talking about the farming supports on the 4 row. Hope you guys are looking forward to it. Until next time, this is Luminous, and we are signing out.